The Ramseys' opulent home, adorned with Christmas decorations, should have been filled with joy. Instead, it became a crime scene. On December 26, 1996, Patsy Ramsey, frantic and distraught, made a chilling phone call to 911. Her 6-year-old daughter, JonBenét, was missing. A ransom note, left on the back staircase, demanded $118,000 for her safe return. The note was unusually long and filled with threats. The hours that followed were a blur of police activity and mounting dread. Then, in a tragic turn of events, JonBenét's body was found. She was in the basement, concealed in a seldom-used room. A makeshift garrote was found around her neck and duct tape covered her mouth. The image of the young beauty queen, lifeless and brutally murdered, shocked the nation. The Christmas decorations now seemed like a cruel mockery of the horror that had unfolded within the home. The scene was chaotic, with friends and family coming and going, potentially contaminating crucial evidence. This mishandling of the crime scene would later become a focal point of criticism and fuel countless questions about what really transpired that night. The discovery of JonBenét's body marked the beginning of a mystery that would captivate and confound the world for years to come. JonBenét Ramsey was more than just a crime victim. She was a little girl whose life was tragically cut short. Born in 1990, JonBenét embodied the American ideal of childhood innocence and ambition. With her blonde curls, bright smile, and undeniable stage presence, she was a natural in the world of child beauty pageants. She charmed audiences and collected crowns, becoming a miniature star in her own right. The pageants, however, would later become a source of controversy, with some critics suggesting that they exposed JonBenét to unnecessary risks and pressures. The world saw her as a princess, but behind the glitter and the forced smiles, she was just a child. Her life, though brief, was filled with the simple joys of childhood, playing dress-up, singing along to her favorite songs, and spending time with her family. She was the apple of her father's eye and her mother's pride and joy. The contrast between the vivacious little girl in the pageant photos and the grim reality of her fate is a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the darkness that can lurk beneath even the most idyllic surface. The ransom note, left on the back staircase of the Ramsey home, was the first clue in the perplexing puzzle of JonBenét's death. Unlike most ransom notes, which are usually brief and to the point, this one was unusually long and rambling, spanning 3 pages. It was filled with strange phrases and misspellings. The writer claimed to be a small foreign faction and demanded $118,000 for JonBenét's safe return. The amount itself was peculiar. It was oddly specific and matched the exact amount of a bonus that John Ramsey, JonBenét's father, had recently received. This detail fueled suspicions that the crime was personal, possibly committed by someone with inside knowledge of the family's finances. The tone of the note was also unusual, alternating between threats of violence and awkward attempts at reassurance. At times it read like a bad screenplay, further deepening the mystery. Handwriting analysis was inconclusive, with experts unable to definitively link the writing to any member of the Ramsey family or anyone else of interest. The note remained a perplexing piece of the puzzle, raising more questions than answers. Who would write such a bizarre and elaborate note? Was it a genuine ransom demand or a carefully constructed smokescreen to mislead investigators? The ransom note, with its strange wording and suspicious details, quickly became a focal point of the investigation and a source of endless speculation for armchair detectives around the world. The crime scene at the Ramsey home was, well, less than ideal. Friends and family were allowed to come and go, which, unfortunately, led to potential contamination of crucial evidence. This mishandling of the scene would later become a focal point of criticism. Investigators struggled to piece together what really happened that night, but the compromised scene made it incredibly difficult. The chaotic nature of the initial response left many questions unanswered and cast a long shadow over the investigation. The scene's contamination fueled countless theories and speculations, adding layers of complexity to an already baffling case. The compromised scene at the Ramsey home remains one of the most criticized aspects of the investigation, highlighting the importance of proper crime scene management in solving such tragic and mysterious cases. Alright, so let's dive into the intruder theory. This theory suggests that an unknown individual, an intruder, entered the scene and committed the act. It's one of the most debated theories out there. Proponents argue that there are signs of forced entry, while skeptics point out the lack of concrete evidence. As we explore this theory, we'll look at the arguments from both sides and, hopefully, shed some light on this perplexing aspect of the case. The investigation took a sharp turn when the spotlight fell on the family. Questions arose, doubts were cast, and every action was scrutinized. Could those closest to the victim be involved? The community was left in shock, grappling with the possibility. As the case gained national attention, the media descended. Headlines screamed for justice, while talk shows and news programs dissected every detail. Public opinion swayed back and forth, often driven by sensational reporting. The pressure on the investigators and the family intensified. Despite exhaustive efforts, the case remained unsolved. Leads dried up, and the trail went cold. The unanswered questions lingered, haunting those who sought the truth. It was a mystery that refused to be unraveled. The impact of the case was profound and enduring. It changed lives, altered perceptions, and left an indelible mark on the community. The search for answers continues, a testament to the enduring human spirit and the quest for justice.